Hello YouTube, it's your boy, Burp B3, back with another kicking movie reaction review. Today's review is over the third movie in the original, black and white original, Universal Mummy series, The Mummy's Tomb! I mentioned the title of the last one didn't make sense. This one doesn't make much sense either because it doesn't happen in The Mummy's Tomb. It doesn't even happen in Egypt. This is the first one that doesn't happen in Egypt. The mummy is actually brought to where the people from the last movie live, and they've now grown to be like middle-aged, and the mummy kills all the stars of the last movie right away. Well, actually, the first thing that happens is a complete recap of the mummy's hand, which took way too long. Way too long. And I was like, oh my god, get it over with. And then it seems like the female lead is already dead, because she wasn't in this film, but the lead of the last film was killed, his comedic relief sidekick was killed, his sister was killed, and just like in the last movie, the woman was abducted to be made immortal for no reason, simply because the villain wanted it. It doesn't change terribly much from the last film, except for Lon Chaney Jr.'s playing the mummy. But the mummy, there's so little about the mummy post Boris Karloff that there's no real character there for Chaney to play. Like, he's great as the Wolfman. He's incredible as the Wolfman. But there's not much of a difference between this mummy and the last mummy, except that this one looks worse. The makeup is much worse. The mummy wrap is worse. The whole costume looked actually bad compared to the last two. Because, excuse me, the last two mummies had excellent makeup, and this one's almost more of a mask than makeup. It's still makeup, but I don't know. I wasn't too taken with this film. My whole life, I've really wondered why the mummy was never really represented as much as Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman. Because there are several films where Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman all cross over with each other. This was the first true cinematic universe. Screw Marvel. But I can now kind of see why the mummy isn't included with them, because there's not as much going on with the mummy. After the first one with Boris Karloff, like, the mummy himself was the bad guy in that one. He was smart, he was emotional, he was a monster, but he was also romantic. In this one, the mummy's just a weapon, basically. Like, a priest points and says, go kill these people, and then the mummy goes and does it because he has to obey them, because they have the elixir that keeps him alive. It's just not impressive. It just wasn't anything impressive. But that's The Mummy's Tomb. I mean, it's a fun monster flick. It's not bad at all. Except for the beginning. It's just nothing special. So if you're not a big Universal monster or monster movie fan, if you're just a casual moviegoer, it might be a pass. But definitely watch the original. But that's it. Thank you all once again for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll see you all next time when we review the very next Mummy film in the series.